Hi guys. We are going to get started here in just a moment with Ramin as soon as he jumps on. Hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for jumping on here with us in the middle of your Tuesday. If you're working from home, hopefully this is your lunch break. If you're at work, hopefully you snuck away someplace nice and quiet so you can hear everything and see everything. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I know all of y'all are Ramin fans. It's so cool. I know he's just the absolute best. The absolute best. Thank you. I think it's because there's a window on the other side of the camera, so it's giving me this natural light that makes me look much better. Hooray to people who are working from home. That's so awesome. I hope you guys are all staying safe during the quarantine. And yes, of course, since there are a lot of you, thank you, a lot of you joining us from other time zones. Thank you for interrupting your dinner or your breakfast or for finding time to join us for this. Ramin will be jumping on here any moment. And we're just gonna have a fun little conversation with him. Hello. I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe. Oh. You can tell I'm at home, dog barking. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe from home, teaching nursing from home. Wow, you are the real MVP. For those of you who are fans of Ramin's and you don't know what the Heart Foundation is, let me introduce myself. My name is Hannah. I am with the Heart Foundation. The Heart Foundation is located in Southern California. Hi, Tammy Littman. For those of you who do not know, heart disease is the #1 cause of death for men and women in the United States and around the world. It takes more lives than all types of cancer combined, and the Heart Foundation is working to change that statistic. We focus on education, early detection, and prevention of heart disease, and we believe that awareness is the biggest way that we can do that. So we hold events, we have fundraisers, we hold CPR classes, and basically we just really promote healthy living and what a healthy lifestyle is to all of you, and we show how a healthy lifestyle can be different for each individual person. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a strict diet, a strict exercise regimen. It can be a little bit different for everyone. So that is what the Heart Foundation is all about. And we also support heart disease research at Cedars-Sinai, which, if you do not know, is also located here in Southern California. And this year we were rated in the top 20 cardiovascular hospitals in the world by US News and World Report. So we support some pretty fantastic doctors at Cedars. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate all the likes that are coming in. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trying to hit all your waves. All right. Amazing. Let's see. Hi, Jordan. All right, Ramin. Where is he? Oh my gosh, Jakarta. That is so cool. I know, right? How great was Ramin as the Phantom? Oh my gosh, he was insane. Last summer, I'm sure that once he jumps on, we will be talking about this, but last summer, I was lucky enough to see Ramin perform with Barbra Streisand at the British Summertime Music Festival in London. And The craziest thing about him is that he never looks like he's trying hard. And it is like his voice is just such a force. Let's see. Oh, and Best Valjean. He was an amazing Valjean. Let's see where. It's 3 a.m. in the Philippines and you guys are watching. Oh my gosh, 4 a.m. in South Korea. I cannot believe Ramin's keeping y'all waiting. Are you guys any of you Holby City fans? Anyone? It's the show that Ramin is on right now. And he actually, there he is. All right. Oh my gosh.
Having a bit of problems propping this up because my battery, oh wait, I'm not gonna touch it. Hopefully it won't fall. Hello.
Hi, Ramin.
How are you?
I'm so great. How are you?
I'm very excited to finally see you and talk to you.
Oh my gosh, look at your full beard.
I know, we got a lumberjack thing going on here.
It's working for you.
Yeah?
It's like your quarantine look right now.
100%. And I decided to try some carpentry skills, and I started building Hadley a new desk from scratch because I thought, I know you can get MDF to make the big board. I'm like, no, I want a country style desk. So I looked on YouTube, but I thought I knew what I was doing. And
you don't.
He asked me when I had a few tequilas, and I thought, yeah, I can make it, no problem. Next morning, thinking nothing of it, and he's like, so did you get the materials? You gonna get it today? I was like,
Oh my gosh, you made a promise.
I did.
Oh my gosh, I actually saw on your story today that you were building something. I did not know that it was a desk. That's hilarious. And desks are hard to find. I have been on the lookout for the perfect desk because I have kind of like a weird space to fill with, because it's measurement, and you're braver than me. I don't think that I would take on building it. So.
Well, that's just fit the perfect space. I thought, well, there's only one way, and that's to go bespoke and just listen.
And you have the time right now.
100, yeah. And I don't think I'm doing anything that difficult. So I'm following a few YouTube things, and I thought, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, right? Maybe not finish it.
Oh, it'll finish. Whether he's going to be like typing like that.
I know, right? Sideways. You'll have to like wedge a book under it or something.
Yeah.
It's so great. Thank you so much for joining us on here today. I know a lot of the people that are watching us are obviously huge fans of you. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Hannah. I'm with the Heart Foundation in Southern California. The Heart Foundation is dedicated to the education, prevention, and early detection of heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death for men and women in the United States and around the world. We support heart disease research at Cedars-Sinai, which is one of the top 20 cardiovascular hospitals in the world. And yeah, so that's my spiel about what we do and what we're about. And we are all about education and awareness of heart disease and just making people more aware. So Ramin, why don't you, as if you need an introduction, why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Hello, my name is Ramin Karimloo. I'm Hannah. I'm an actor, and sometimes I sing a tune or two. And I'm living out in England, locked down here, while I attend my duties at Holby City as a cardiothoracic surgeon. Perfect. I'm a heart surgeon.
It's one of my favorite, yes. Wait, really quick, before I jump in to ask you some questions. I remember you, one of my favorite stories that you told me is when you were, I believe it's when you were starting on Holby City, and you're a cardiothoracic surgeon on the show, and you had to go see a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You, an open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd it
Crazy.
go?
Let's put it this way. I'm glad I'm just acting. I'll tell you that much.
It's intense.
Yeah. Well,
I think, did it just give you like so much more of an appreciation for like everything that goes on behind the scenes?
yeah, but also for me, it was intense. Them, no problem. They had the, but I guess you want that. You want that cool, calm, collective. Everything's going well, but oh my days, I don't need to see that again.
I'm sure.
I don't like blood.
Right.
Even on set with the prosthetic stuff, I remember the first heart surgery you had to do. You know, we still have to do it all, and it looks far too real. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, our prosthetic team, makeup team are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then when I rolled they said action, the heart starts pumping. I was like, it pumps as well. Oh my god! I was like,
this is way too realistic.
yeah, but it's great. It's so fast because we have real heart surgeons and you know, NHS staff on set with us to advise us, and it's amazing.
Wow. I mean, I think that would be so intimidating, especially like, do you feel like you've had to gain a lot of knowledge about the heart and about,
yeah,
like,
but
do you have lines where you're like, I don't know what this means, and you have to like look it up and you have learned more about heart health?
yeah, but I have to be honest, like lyrics and previous episodes, once it's done, it's gone, you know, because it's just a constant
well, it's always new. I'm sure you're yeah.
Well, it's like a language, and if you're not practicing the language all the time and doing repetition on it, it's just going to go. And you know, the medical terms is a whole different language, and to say it with conviction, and you know, thankfully again we have the staff there to advise us, and they'll. So it's immediate. You know what's happening, and you know what you're talking about at the time. Ask me in 2 weeks.
Right.
Unless it's in that episode, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's a great way to approach it. It's a language. It's a totally different way of communicating.
Yeah.
So here, this is what I want to talk to you about. So you obviously are very well known for being quite active. I mean, you scroll through your Instagram grid and it's like you working out, like you're totally cut up, you're totally ripped. You've always been an active guy. I want to know what healthy living means to you. Because obviously you are someone who likes to work out a lot, but I want to know if you would just break it down. What does healthy living mean to you?
You know, I think healthy living, and like you say, what does it mean to me? Because it's to each person, each to their own, and we all react differently to different food types and exercise and our blood types, everything.
We lost him. Ramin, he's gonna come back. I just know it. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Really? You've forgotten the lyrics to Music in the Night? I don't think he's ever forgotten those. Here he is. He's back. Here he is.
I had to switch phones. I've broken the selfie side of this. Oddly enough, I don't do selfies, and then I've broken. But hopefully this is good enough.
This is perfect. You look great. So wait, let's go back to that question. So you said, you know, healthy living can mean something different to everyone, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, so for me, flexibility in my diet, consistency with being active, and allowing myself mental grace and time and space, and not being apologetic for taking care of myself. And this is me specifically for myself, and with the pressures of work and, you know, how work nowadays, there is a relationship with social media, and I guess if you sign up to it, you got to dance with the devil a bit. But I think as a human, as an artist, you can't be apologetic for taking care of yourself, and self-care is important. And for me, self-care is time and space for myself and my family, a flexible but consistently healthy diet. And I love going to the gym, and it used to be more ego than, or vanity than health, but now it's more mental health. And the byproducts, great, you know, for what my goals are. But again, it's not imperative that everybody has that formula either.
Right. I agree with you on that. I think for me, for sure, a huge part of my overall well-being is allowing myself flexibility. And I will say that that has changed as I've gotten older. And like you just said, it used to be a little ego driven.
Yeah.
But now, just as you get older, I think maybe your priorities change a little bit, and it stops being fun if you don't allow for flexibility. It stops being enjoyable.
And that's what I was saying. I just went through a good almost 2 months of hating working out, but I was forcing myself to go because I just know the health benefits of it. But I didn't like it. I wasn't happy with my diet. Oddly for me, I went more vegan, more, at least my shakes, I was doing plant-based stuff, but it wasn't working for me in the end. After 2 months, I was like, this is not working for me. So I've gone for more, I try and get ethically sourced stuff and cleaner foods. But going back to what worked for me, and that, especially that flexible, if it fits in your calories, so the diet. So I do allow myself treats and whatnot and not feel bad about it.
Right. No, I think that that's great. And I think it's cool that you were open to trying new things, because I think a lot of people get hooked into their one regimen and they're stuck. And then when the second you make it rigid for yourself is, again, when you don't allow for flexibility, and it becomes a chore. It doesn't become part of the journey, and it doesn't become fun, and it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, and whatever you decide to do, you gotta have fun. At the end of the day, we get one life, so we want to live it as best we can. And whether you are a gym rat, whether you're not, whether you're a yogi, whether you don't even want to partake in any of that, but you just want to go for walks or hikes.
Yeah.
It's got to be fun. It can't be a chore.
I agree.
Sometimes, you got to
push yourself a little bit,
Let's
obviously,
go.
out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm.
But what helps, I think, as well, is to set goals.
Yes.
And that can be anything, but at least you're working towards something.
I agree. And they don't always have to be physical goals. It can be as little as like drink more water.
Yeah, I started running 3 miles a day. I can't stand running, but it clears my head. It's meditative, and I do a lot of my podcast work when I run, and it's like my office space right now. Also, I think in the situation where we get that 1 hour of playtime, so to speak, to get out during this pandemic.
Is that your guys' rule there? You get 1 hour?
Yeah, that's the suggestion. A strong suggestion. I think that's still a rule. I think a lot of people are breaking it and whatnot, and it's hard to see such a division, even when it comes to, we all want to beat this. Surely there's a common denominator, and I don't know what it is, but my benchmark is whatever helps our medical staffs, our hospitals, whatever they need. If they're willing to risk their lives for me, then the least I can do is, okay, I'm at your service. If you don't want me to leave my house, I'll stay home for now. Right.
No, I think that unfortunately, it's kind of hard to believe that not everybody's on the same boat as you with that thought. It seems like such an easy, instinctive thought, but unfortunately, not everybody feels that way. Do you feel like your personal health has suffered during the pandemic? Like, do you feel like it's been a struggle for you to stay on your health game, or do you feel like it's been easier?
No, I have to say, I've realized in this pandemic, I'm either very antisocial or more introverted than I thought, because apart from not going to work, my life really hasn't changed. I do like my own space. I love my home. I love where I live. So every day I consider myself very fortunate, and I'm very grateful to be able to even say that, knowing there's a lot of people who are struggling with this. A lot of people have dealt with illness, death, and with a family member or friend, or, it's. So I personally have not struggled in that sense, because also I make sure I go for those runs. I make sure the homeschooling has been actually a blessing, because it made my brain work and interact with the boys, time with Mandy, especially for me, for the last 10 years, I've been isolated somewhere in the world. Of course I was around with people, but I personally was on my own. I was away from the most important 3 people in my life.
Right.
So I've never had as much.
Oh, sorry.
I've got 2 of them too.
Yeah. So when you were traveling for work, I feel like that to me would be the most difficult time to make health a priority. Or maybe it's that you like lean on your health during that time. Because I know when I travel, it doesn't matter if it's been me traveling for work or if it's been me traveling for play. I get in this mindset where I like get a little loosey goosey with myself. And I'm like, I can sleep in a little bit. There's a time difference. I don't need to eat as cleanly. I have per diem or whatever to spend on room service. Like, do you find that it's easier for you to stay on your health game, or do you find that it's more of a challenge?
No, I pre-plan everything. So like, for example, when I go to Japan, the producers there that I work with, we've got such a great relationship now. When they pick me up from the airport, we drop off my stuff and they take me straight to the gym.
Oh, that's so great.
I'm like, I feel, if there's any time I feel a bit like The Rock, it's that, because it's like, they know it's part of the itinerary to go straight to
You
the
just
gym.
like brush your shoulders off, walk in, like flexing.
Well, no, but they give me the old, konnichiwa. They're so polite there, but it's like, I make that, and whether I go to New York or wherever I fly, I come visit you guys.
Yes.
Already, we've discussed what time, when I land, what time we're going to eat, a gym, It's important to me because for me, it brushes off jet lag, which I don't really believe in, but you get that flying funk out of you.
Yeah, there's definitely a funk. It's definitely like a haze almost.
Yeah, and I don't do short flights. Everything's always long. So I also pre-plan, okay, at this point in the flight, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to force myself to sleep. I've got to, because usually when I land, it's straight to a rehearsal. We got to get going.
Right. How are your boys doing? How's your family doing during the quarantine?
They're great. They've been very, we've been open about everything. We talk every now and then. I check, how's your mind? How's your heart? How you doing? Because I think out of all of us, the worst hit, if any, would be Jaden, because he was just about to finish school. So that he's in that transition of life anyways.
Yes.
To then do it here, and he's got his outlet with his music and his rap that he produces, but I'm finding time goes by like that. Like I wake up early still. We try not to sleep in because I don't want to waste a day. I love my mornings. Next thing you know, it's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Like, how's the day? When I was working on set,
I know.
I feel like I now believe that thing. When you want something done, give it to a busy person, because you get so much done. And I'm like, this is crazy how fast time is going. And I don't think I've moved off this couch at some points, So with Jaden, I'm trying to monitor how much he's in his room making music. I'm like, okay, let's go out. Thank God we have dogs. We take them for walks, long walks. Right. We got a fully equipped gym in our garage. And
Mandy is super active. Your wife is super active.
Yeah, and she's really hunkered down on this diet as well. And there's 2 times she's got a new goal, a fitness regime. So she's really it's amazing. The first 3 weeks she wasn't into all that, and now seeing her do that for the past 2 weeks with food prep, her fasted cardio and whatnot, and then her weights, her mood, the woman, it's a whole different aura around her. And I was like, man, case in point, like how good it is for mental health, let alone everything else.
I think that the prep is a huge thing. I don't know if it's not even just for fitness. I think just entering your day. If I enter the day and I have no clue what I'm doing, I flounder that day. Versus, it sounds like Mandy's doing meal prep, or if I like make a list of the things I want to accomplish that day, or just like you said, making goals. It's like it totally changes your outlook on the day, and it helps you get so much more accomplished.
Yeah, and that's why I'm grateful for my podcast too, because then I'm like, I have to get stuff done. But the first 3 weeks, because I was a bit antsy, because I didn't know what was going on, and as a father and husband, I'm like, okay, how do I take care of my family? How do I make sure they're okay? And I would make lists, and at the end of the day, I'd look at it, okay, I did everything but the list. I was like, what's going on?
I have done that too. I'm like, okay, so I like do everything except for the top 3 things, which were the most important 3 things. Like, what
Yeah.
Why didn't I tackle those first? I know. So wait, plug your podcast. What's your podcast?
Oh, it's called The Hang. And it's turned out to be, I don't know if it's pretty good, but it's got a good response. And I only did it so I can hang with my friends to break my antisocial behavior, because I was on my own all the time. And I'd stay home, creature of comfort. So originally it was so I can go into London to a studio. I'd see my friends, we'd hang, and it wasn't a platform for myself. It was like, for some reason, I have wonderful followers and quite a big amount now.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you get them to hang with all of them, and they can get to know them if they don't know them. And then it just got busy, and then I know our podcast crashed the host site, and now
oh my god,
I've had a couple calls of people like, can we come on your podcast? I was like, oh, I don't want it to become a thing, but it might become a thing. But I don't think I'm that good at interviewing, and it's practice for me because I get nervous in interviews. I'm not quite eloquent, and
you do not. You stop it right now.
I don't even like doing interviews. Let me tell you that. So this is a chance to just hang, And
yeah.
So now, like Thursday, we do one. Obviously, we're doing them remotely now, and it's this really famous magician, illusionist. And I've been researching about him, and we've had a FaceTime to get to know each other. It's really interesting. So now I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna find some things out that I get to ask this guy now, and how his mind works. He's unbelievable.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. I need to check out The Hang. haven't even listened to it. I'm a bad friend and a bad fan.
Now, what we're doing now, this is it. This would be the podcast.
This is The Hang.
Yeah. Done.
So, Ramin, if there was one piece of advice that you could give someone who would like to be more health conscious, would like to make a change in the way that they are living their lives in terms of their health, but they don't know where to start, what is a piece of advice that you would give someone?
I would say start by finding what is something you would enjoy doing that you're not doing. So it's so easy to say, get a gym membership, go to the gym. That could be intimidating. That could be, I don't like that.
Right now, it's not an option.
True.
Yeah.
So obviously YouTube is great. There's great stuff to even 10-minute things. If you are completely sedentary and don't do anything, I don't think that's healthy. We're animals at the end of the day. We're not built to do that. We've got to be moving. So I would scour YouTube, see something that at least piques your interest enough to go, let me try that. Right. And then I would say do that at least 3 times a week. Because the first 2 weeks of starting a routine is the worst. It's hard. It's you got to convince yourself to do it. And then you'll get to a point where you got to convince yourself not to do it. And because you then enjoy the feeling good and, oh, I can do it. I can do 1 more rep today than I did yesterday. Just little goals, set little goals. And that's all that matters. Don't compare yourself like I used to do as well. And I kind of hope I wasn't too, when I look back on some of my posts with fitness, people can get quite righteous about it and feel like that was the only way. A turning point for me was, I remember in an interview, someone said, what does it take to have a Broadway body? And I was like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah. And I thought, well, what have I done to contribute to that question? And there was no malice or ill intent, but it's because I was, the Valjean who had a 6-pack and I was 20 pounds. No, I'm heavy again now, but I was, I was a bigger dude and I was lifting a ton of weight, but I didn't want, that was for me. That was for my prep for that role. Nobody has to do this. And it's certainly not a prerequisite to be on Broadway,
Right.
So I would just say, find something that you can break a sweat at, that raises your heart rate a little bit, to give your heart an exercise, to give you will feel good. And that's something that we should all. Yeah.
I think the 3 days a week thing is a great piece of advice, because I think that it's so easy to fall into that all or nothing mentality of, like hitting it as hard as you can and saying like, I'm going to do this every single day, you get burned out. You can't do it. So to start something new, start by just dipping your toes in the water and doing it only 3 days a week. That's such great advice.
Yeah, because, you know, if you start getting a bit more complicated with your moves, form and all that's important. And you'll end up adding more days if you keep at it because you want to do it. And every goal you reach inspires you. And I don't like when people try and wait for a perfect time or I need to be inspired to go.
Right.
Just start. Inspiration will come.
Yes, that's one of my favorite things to say. Because, you know, I teach cycling, is you don't need to be inspired to do something. You just need to do it.
Yeah.
You
Half
just
the time,
need to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's it.
So for those of you who don't know, and Ramin, I don't even know if you knew this, today is actually kind of a cool day. It's now called Giving Tuesday now. Giving Tuesday is a holiday it's a day that we celebrate in the nonprofit. And because of the pandemic, we are bringing attention to it today. And so the Heart Foundation, a great way to support us in what we do. I'm actually wearing one of our mantra t-shirts. It says, you're never too young. It's never too late. If you click the link in our bio, you can purchase one of these. We have tank tops, t-shirts, we have men's tank tops. And the reason that this is our mantra is because you're never too young and it's never too late to be affected by heart disease, which is scary, but it's also really empowering because you're never too young and it's never too late to start living a more heart healthy lifestyle. So a great way to celebrate Giving Tuesday now, and then also spread a great message to people who you can't hug or touch, or they can't even see that you're smiling right now because you have a mask on, but you have this positive message on your shirt. So Ramin, we're sending you some mantra shirts.
How much are these mantra shirts?
Send you guys some.
How much are these mantra shirts?
I believe they are $25 bucks.
So how can I gift 10 to people that are listening now?
Oh, the first 10 people to DM the Heart Foundation Instagram.
All right.
Ramin's buying you a shirt.
Done.
DM me with your size and what style you want, and you guys will get a shirt. I love it.
Nice.
Ramin, you're the man.
Well, you're doing such amazing work. I love how your Instagram and the Heart Foundation, from when you took over, what it's become, and it's fun, it's interactive, it makes me want to, it's surprised new things. That coconut oil one that you did must have been 6 months ago. It made me go, oh, geez, I thought this was the miracle one. You can have as much. No.
I know. It is wild.
And wine is good. Thank you for the wine. I was like, yes, I can drink wine. Beautiful.
I can have some wine, but I can't have coconut oil. Oh my gosh. The thing, everything in moderation. Yeah. There is nothing worse than feeling constrained and feeling like you can't have something. And so.
Well, look, this diet I do, if it fits in your macros, so I set how many grams of protein, how many grams of carbs, and how many grams of fat I want each day. So it's like an allowance. Now, if one day I want a Cadbury's cream egg, I'll take it, but it's going to take a lot of my I know, they're so good. But here, they say, 80% of your diet should be clean. So 20% can be fun. That's 5 cheat meals. I don't even do that. But if you think of it that way, 5 of your meals can be fun during the week.
That's so great.
That's not hard to do. Because also when I meal prep and I eat clean, I don't crave the naughty stuff so much either.
Well, no, because you start seeing how good you feel when you do eat clean, and then how terrible you feel when you really junk it up. Yeah.
I could drink tequila all night long, no problem. I have a bunch of sweeties and naughty food before I go to sleep. I wake up hungover because that sugar I don't feel good anymore about that.
Don't overdo it. Oh my gosh, Ramin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Anytime.
You're the absolute best. And I feel like, and obviously you don't have to, but I feel like maybe you should just give us a line of something that sounds really pretty with your voice.
What's the song that I sing the word heart in?
I've heard you sing so many things.
What can I sing?
Whatever you want.
What was I working on? See, this is the thing. I will sing, but now I
feel
just
like
don't know what to do.
Do you see this? People are like, Phantom, play this.
Oh, we just had so much Phantom.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. You had a guitar ready?
I'm in my music room.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in my music room. There's the Joker. He's all. I'm in.
He was ready.
Now the piano's there. Look, it's not even in tune.
Oh gosh.
What can I
Whatever
sing
you
for you?
want. Just a little something, something.
A little something, something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll sing a fun song. There is a breath of love in the air. It kisses my ear like a song, and it blows its fingers all through my hair. It shows me where I wanna belong. There is a ribbon of her in my heart. It gives and it takes like a drug. I want to be more than we are. I wish kisses would grow out of hugs. Two hearts beat like four dancing feet when they move to the rhythm of love. If you can't decide if you're dead or alive, you just need to feel that way once. Then you'll know there's a breath of love in your lungs. Here's half of that song.
Come on, Ramin! What
That had heart in it.
Oh my gosh, you are the absolute best. Thank you so much.
I want to do this again.
Whenever you want.
And let me know how I gotta pay for the shirts.
All right. First 10 people to send the Heart Foundation a DM. And you know what? We're going to do this too. First 10 people to send us a DM and you follow us. Send me a DM with your size and I'll get in contact with you and I'll have Ramin. I'll charge Ramin's credit card.
Done.
Ramin, I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Love you. Can't wait to come marry you guys.
Oh!
Can I tell people that?
Sure.
I shouldn't have said anything, right? Oh, sorry.
TBD with the date.
Yes. Well, it's better now.
It is better now. It is better now.
Do I have to wear a white collar?
You're not a priest. Oh my God.
I'm going to be the guy for the job, though.
Ramin, I love you.
See you soon.
Oh, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are a follower of the Heart Foundation, follow Ramin, listen to The Hang. If you're a follower of Ramin, follow the Heart Foundation for ways to stay healthy through this pandemic and even past it. Ramin, thank you so much. I love you.
Love you, darling. See you
Remember,
soon.
you guys, you're never too young and it's never too late to start living a heart-healthy lifestyle.
True stuff.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye-bye, everyone.